and welcome to today's video. So today we will be recreating this vintage Valentino gown in pink because I've been wanting this dress for many years now, but it's vintage, so it's impossible to get a hold of, and if it would come out for sale it would probably be really expensive. I don't know exactly how I'm supposed to do it, but I will try to recreate it as close as possible to the original. So yeah, let's just get started. So I think I'm gonna start off by going to my local fabric store. They are quite expensive, but the thing I care about most is to find a fabric that is most similar to the original. So yeah, we'll see if I find anything. I just got back from the fabric store and look at this, so beautiful. I'm so happy I got this fabric. Like, it's 1.5 yards, or it's almost 2 yards, and it was $2. But anyways, it's this beautiful silky pink fabric, and I think this will be absolutely perfect for this dress. Okay, so I'm having like a bit of a hard time figuring out exactly how to make the pattern of this dress. But I think I'm going to start by making it in muslin so that we already have a finished pattern to actually make the dress in. So I think we'll get started on that first. Okay, so basically I have this huge roll of muslin here that we are going to use. So I will just start by laying this out on the floor like that. And then I will be picking up a dress to try to kind of create a pattern around on top of this. Okay, I have found the dress that I will be using for the pattern. It's a lot wider than what we want for this dress, but at least it has like the same shape around the waist. So yeah, I think that would be good. Okay, so I now created the pattern in this muslin fabric. It's a little bad quality on the camera now, but it's just because I live in Norway, so it's dark after 4 p.m. Anyways, I have just created this boob for the dress, and now I'm thinking of just taking off this pattern and actually cutting out in the silk fabric and start to sew. Okay, so I have now created the pattern itself, so now we'll get to actually transferring it to the pink fabric. Okay, so I'll first show you the pattern itself. Okay, so here is the main pattern for the dress. You can see that I've cut off one of the boobs, which is because it's the other one that I made that we are going to actually use in the pattern. But I decided to just keep that one on in case I want to experiment with it, or yeah, just see how this will actually be. Okay, so I thought that we will just get started with the fabric, lay it on the ground, and we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so for this part of the video, I will just do a voiceover because it's so much easier. And I'm gonna start out by laying down the fabric and putting the muslin on top. And it's really important to make sure you don't get any wrinkles in the fabric underneath the muslin when cutting. Anyways, I just laid the other part for the breasts on top and placed it in a way so I can easily cut around it since it's gonna be bigger than the rest. And this is to make it possible to make the gatherings afterwards. After that, it's just to start cutting, which was not easy, but we just gotta push through. So at the breast, I just cut halfway so you can see a slight mark there, and that's where I stopped cutting, and then I started cutting again on the side instead. So this is because we want the dress to be whole in the middle, but we want to gather it on the side. So this is why we take this cut halfway in. That was a little bit of a complicated explanation, but you may get it if you actually watch this very closely. You can zoom in. At this point, I used a safety pin to mark exactly the middle into the bottom of the dress here. So after I was done with that, I just flipped it over to create the exact same pattern on the other side. And when you do this, you know that everything becomes exactly the same. And now the front has been cut out, so I'm just gonna hang it up on my model to actually see that it will fit and that all the gatherings and stuff will be completely perfect. So here you can see how it looks on. And then I'm gonna lay the front onto the rest of the fabric to create the back of the dress. And to do that, I'm just gonna lay it down completely flat and make sure that I get the same width and stuff. And then I'm gonna cut up into right underneath the breasts, so you can see where the cut goes. And then I'm just gonna sort of continue that cut the whole way around on the back instead. So now I have hung the dress up on my form again, and we're gonna try to make the gatherings. To make the gatherings, we are going to sew a line with the longest stitch. I use a 4, and after that we're gonna pull on the thread from the underside to gather it and finish it off with sewing a normal stitch on top to put everything in place. I also made an inlay for the top to sew together with the front of the dress, and this is to be able to reverse it to create a really smooth, perfect finish with hidden seams. Now, unfortunately for me, the dress turned out a little small, so I decided to create an expansion in this side, which is where I put the invisible zipper. Now, sewing an invisible zipper can seem really intimidating, but it's actually really easy. It's just to pin it up on the inside of the garment and sew it from the back with a straight stitch. Keep it up one more minute. Keep it up, you're so great. And the last thing I did on the dress was hand sewing the bottom, which took what felt like an eternity, but after 3 to 4 hours of hand sewing, it was finished. And here is the final reveal of the dress. So honestly, I love this dress very, very much. The only problem with it is that my boobs are too big. It's very frustrating because I spent so much time making this dress. So if I'm gonna wear it, I guess I'm just gonna have to tape them up or something like that. And even to actually film the end of this video, I had to correct the dress probably 1,000 of times, just so that I wouldn't show my nipples on camera on YouTube, because I don't want to get banned, and I also don't really want my nipples out there. So yeah, I had clipped the dress in the back, and now the clip went up too, so I don't really know if I'm gonna wear this dress ever, because it just don't really fit that well. And I actually have lost quite a lot of weight since I made this dress, so the expansion that I made in the side is now actually making the dress too big, but I did really enjoy making it and I think it's really gorgeous. So if you want to make it for yourself, then I definitely recommend doing so. Just make sure that you actually have the correct measurements before you cut the fabric. Anyways, that's a wrap on today's video, so thank you all so much for watching and have a great day.